So I turned 31 yesterday, but we can always rely on West Ham to make me feel like I actually turned 85. Bit disappointing, that, bit deflating, I think is the best way to put that. But look, touching on the lineup wasn't remotely surprising to me at all. I don't think any of us are shocked that Antonio didn't start or wasn't even on the bench, because as you know, he's fatigued. Read that as injured. Noble was in midfield. Moyes has done this to every cup game so far. Not surprising. Yarmolenko up top, again, not surprising. I would have loved to have seen Bowen honestly start up top instead of Yarmolenko. I don't get what I want in life. And Mipo was on the bench, which we'll get to in a bit. But our squad's threadbare. We've a small rotation of players. Like, this was to be expected. Like, I'm not surprised. Defensive team, not a great deal of creativity starting. It is what it is. I can't really hound Moyes for it because we just didn't really buy anyone in January. It's just as is. The first half, we had nowhere to go. There was no outlet. There was no nothing. United were pressing and we struggled to move on to the ball. When we did, we were wasting our passes. We were really wasting our passes. Like, it was just, we just didn't have the chances. Bonner early on unfortunately picked up an injury, which really isn't good news for us, and I hope it's not serious. He looked in a lot of pain, but he did walk off, so hopefully that is a good sign. Diop replaced him. Now luckily, centre-back is a position that we're chock-a-block full of players, so, you know, many a silver lining in that sense, because, you know, we're hardly lacking in that area. A few good blocks from Cresswell. Actually, I thought Cresswell was pretty damn good in this match. And Dawson, which I'll rave about now. Dawson's so good. So good. His blocks are outstanding. It's not going to be the first time I mention Dawson either. But look, we were struggling to get out of our own half. We were so defensively set up. And now, I will say, defensively, we played fantastically. We really did. We contained United in the first half. They just weren't getting anywhere, but unfortunately neither were we. Fabianski made some fantastic saves, and I just won't really accept anyone criticising Fabianski in this match, because he has some fantastic touches. For me, it just further cements how good a goalkeeper is, and I know people want to replace him, want to make him second, start looking for another first goalie, but he's just so good. He is just fantastic. And today, he was totally on top of his game and we desperately needed him. Yarmolenko, unfortunately, was like a plank of wood. In fact, I'd probably argue a plank of wood would have done more than Yarmolenko did for us up top. He didn't run. He didn't do anything. He didn't pose any attack or threat to United at all. And do you know what? I was disappointed with Bowen in this game. I thought he was very quiet. I just wish he'd look up a little bit more and maybe stop holding on to the ball. But actually, I think that was a bit of a problem with a few other players in this game as well, in terms of holding the ball for too long and not passing, and then ending up having to pass it backwards rather than forwards. Can I just say about Mark Noble? He isn't perfect, but by God, he does work hard. Like, he's not perfect. I know so many people think he shouldn't start and he shouldn't have started, but he does work really hard. He puts himself all in. So look, it was not a disappointing first half for us, because defensively we were good. It was 0-0. And then we got into the second half. Now, I'm going to be totally honest, the second half subs were quite confusing, because during half time I was making myself for heaters, but when I turned round and came back, Fredericks and Johnson had come on. Now, you can all correct me, did Diop come off for a concussion sub? Because obviously he knocked heads in the first half, so is that what happened? I was confused. I'm still slightly confused about our formation, but Mipo came on because Yarmolenko got injured. His knee looked a bit buggered. Now, Mipo, let's have a chat. I didn't expect miracles from him. I know a lot of people, including me, were excited to see him, not just because he's a striker, just because we got a striker on the pitch. It's something, you know, that I was happy with. He made absolutely no difference. He made no impact. I don't even know if he actually got a touch on the ball, unfortunately. So I just want to say, before everyone jumps on me and goes, oh yeah, but Udebeko wasn't even that good. I know, but he has to start somewhere. And just as I said, the fact we had a striker on the pitch, he wasn't perfect, and as I said, he made no impact, which was, look, it must be disappointing for him, and I'm sure it must have left a little bit of a dent in his confidence. But the point is, he has to learn from that, and the only way he'll learn from that is if he plays more than 5 minutes a game. So, like I said, disappointing, but I'm glad he came on, because obviously Yarmolenko was making no difference anyway, and then he got injured. So we had not a great deal to lose, in my opinion. Could it have been a bit of tactical genius from Moyes? Because obviously, as I said, I'm not entirely sure what formation we were even playing in. Was it a back 5-4? I don't know. But we were playing, we were more energetic. We were, in the second half, much more energetic. We were managing to actually get forward, which was good. It's very different compared to the first half. And again, Dawson, big Craig Dawson. He's just fantastic. And I'm going to eat my words and my metaphorical hat that I'm not wearing. I criticised when we brought him in on loan. I know I've said this before, but he's just very good. And I hope we sign that man. Because as a centre-back, he just blocks everything. He just gets in the way of everything. He is just there. And you know what? So was Declan Rice tonight. I thought he was absolutely outstanding. He was everywhere. He was literally everywhere. And also, a huge shout out to Mark Noble, who, I put this on Twitter as well. I'm so glad we kept him on. He didn't deserve to come off. He was working so hard for us. And he was out there breaking United players' hearts on that pitch tonight. He was having a few of them. Poor Bruno Fernandes. He sent him. I loved it. The thing is, as I said, Mark's not perfect, but he does work extremely hard. I know I'm biased because I'm a huge Mark Noble fan, but tonight I thought he was very good and he deserved to stay on that pitch. Again, people might definitely disagree with me on that, but from my point of view, I thought he did really well. There was one in, what was it, like the 93rd minute, 94th minute. We had a chance. We had one chance, and this was our real one whole chance of the match, which came from a corner, and it didn't quite hit Dawson's head as it should have, and that's why it was a miss, but it was so close. And I spoke to a few people just before extra time started and said, I hope that isn't the chance that we go, well, if we'd have got that, we definitely would have won. And if that's the case, we definitely absolutely would have won. Because unfortunately in extra time we didn't do it. We didn't have it in us. I don't think we had enough in the tank, and I think again this is down to our lack of squad depth. I just don't think we had it in the tank to produce a good enough 30 minutes for extra time. And there was a very poor touch from Deck, and I know he'll probably regret this, which United got a goal from. It was very bad, but I'm putting it down to tiredness. The reason I can't slate Declan Rice is because he's played every single minute of football since this season started, and we're so reliant on him. And do you know what? Same for Souček, because Souček made a couple of misses that usually he wouldn't have. The man hasn't come off the pitch. Like, our midfield, because we're lacking in our midfield, and obviously because no squad. I can't slate them. It was a really poor touch from Deck, but I can't slate him because he must be absolutely ruined, and he looked ruined, and most of the team looked ruined. It was 1-0. Not much to say apart from the cup dreams over. I genuinely thought we might have had a good run, but we played well. As I said, defensively we played well. Absolutely. I don't think it was a poor match. I just don't think we have enough left in us to have made that work, and we didn't. So on to focusing on the league. That's what we've got. Hopefully we're not playing till Monday now, so hopefully there is enough of a rest. As I said, disappointing, but on to the league.